Hi, in this episode, we will explore Instructlab as a model tuning method. In part 1 of this two-part video series, I mentioned that Instructlab as an open source project, it includes a command line tool that allows you to perform smoke testing of this tuning method directly on your desktop. By reviewing these commands or steps needed to fine-tune a model using Instructlab command line tool, you will have a very good understanding of how the Instructlab method works. First, you will download a base model from Hugging Face. Next, we will interact with the model in its current state to identify areas where it could benefit from additional tuning. In step 3, we will enhance the model's knowledge or skills by preparing a few input and output examples in a YAML file format. Based on these manually curated examples, Instructlab will generate new synthetic training data using large language models to create more input and output examples. These training examples are both generated and evaluated, and any that don't pass the quality check will be discarded, ensuring high-quality synthetic data. However, it's always a good idea to manually review the generated data to further enhance quality and build trust in the generation process. Step 5, we will fine-tune the model using the large language model generated training data. Step 6, you will run the Instructlab test, which prompts the tuned model to generate output for the test data. That is the time you will get a chance to see output from the model before and after the tuning process. And finally, you can interact with the retrained model to further evaluate the results. You can run all these steps on your desktop with a minimum of 60 gigabytes of memory. Ideally, after the tuning process, with the new knowledge and skills, the tuned model will be able to answer questions that the base model couldn't answer and perform better on the target task. Keep in mind that running this process on a Mac or your desktop will provide a low fidelity approximation of the tuning process. For higher quality, a larger teacher model is needed for the synthetic data generation process, along with more sophisticated hardware. If you choose to run this process on your desktop, it's a great way to test whether your skills or knowledge are formatted correctly. That is the only contribution you will make to the Instructlab open source project if you are interested in contributing back to the open source community. That is done via a pull request on GitHub. If the request passed the review process, the data will be used to fine-tune lab-supported models such as the Granite and Marinite on high-performance infrastructure. That's how these models are enhanced through community contributions. But the great news is that if you're not interested in contributing to the open source project, that is totally fine. The Instructlab as a tuning method will soon be supported on IBM's watsonx.ai platform in a code optional way. In that case, you will be able to fine-tune your model of choice using the Instructlab tuning method on your own data. No need to share it with anybody. That's a great way to fine-tune your model. Definitely stay tuned for that if that is something you're interested in. Alright, that wraps up our look at Instructlab as a tuning method. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit this notification bell for more updates.